Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Cape Rugby TV. Of course, we take a look on a weekly basis at what's happening in the world of club rugby. Right, folks, of course, a big thanks to our partners on board with us, Score Energy Drinks. As you know, during the course of the show, you can win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks. I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. MChem 24-hour pharmacy and, of course, Thorburn Security Solutions. Folks, nice full show for you this evening. We'll be going down to the High Performance Centre where we catch up again with the DHL Western Province Rugby Women's Rugby squad, and we'll be speaking to some of the players there. Of course, a big focus on women's rugby at the moment, and clubs have been nominating their club representatives to drive women's rugby at their clubs. And we'll be catching up with Dion Isaacs. He's, of course, the club captain at St. George's. Not the team captain, the club captain. St. George's also busy getting back into action. Clint Ogle is the strength and conditioning coach at Kales River. And the Kale boys have also been back in action. Of course, when we're talking about action, we're talking about specifically within the first 4 weeks of the strength and conditioning program that Western Province Rugby has authorized. And then we go down to the High Performance Centre where we catch up with the under-20s, the Western Province Rugby under-20 squad who's busy training, and we'll be catching up with Whistling Wheels Rugby, who are now moving towards their second phase of the return to training program. And folks, we of course have to remind you that all of the training programs at the moment are very specific. They're COVID regulated and only authorized according to the regulations of SA Rugby and Western Province Rugby. But let's take a look now at what's happening with women's rugby. The DHL Western Province Rugby women's squad busy training at the High Performance Centre.
It's an amazing feeling being back on the field with the ladies, because we always used to train alone. It's not the same as training with the ladies, but me being a player for Golden Lions before, it feels amazing to actually be playing with the ladies in the A League, which is Western Province. So it really feels amazing to be training with the ladies. There's definitely a difference. With Western Province, most of the ladies here play for the national team, so it's the intensity is different here, and things are more, how can I put it, serious here than in Joburg. So the intensity, just the intensity for me is amazing. It's on another level. So I really enjoy this kind of intensity when it comes to rugby. Having the other ladies on social media was, to be honest, an inspiration, because you see different ladies doing their programs, sharing it with us. So that was one point of getting to be fit for the whole year. But it was really difficult. It was honestly difficult. You do not get this everywhere. Like in Joburg, we didn't have coaches that are in the setup or have been in the setup for SA. So being with them and actually knowing what is required for one to be in the SA setup, it feels it's an opportunity that as players here at Western Province we are really grateful for. First of all, it's the A League, so I'm excited, super excited for this, and I just cannot wait to be on the field with the Western Province. Hopefully I make the team so I can get to be part of the championship.
It's been long now that we have seen each other, and that I can see my team again. It's an awesome feeling. I got my injury in 2019 at SA camp, SA performance camp after Craven Week. Currently I have a knee injury, and which I can't run at the moment, but I believe and I trust God that I'll get that strength, that necessary strength to be back on the field again. For me, yes, it was difficult because I don't know my knee situation right now. So every time I used to run, then something used to happen with my knee, which I don't know what happened. But yeah, it was kind of difficult for me. is baie nice. Like die COVID was baie challenging geweest. Jy kon nie sommer net gaan oefen net nie. Jy moet by die huis geoefen het en dit was hard om op jou eie te oefen. Soos ons het by die coaches gekry wat om te doen, wat sonder hulle moet ek op jou eie gewerk het. En om nou terug te wees soos hulle by jou kant, spanmaats by is baie nice because soos ek self met die COVID, ons kan nie sommer net in die ronde gewees het nie, maar van nou wat jy nie kan buite kan wees, nog altyd veel beskerm met die bal is baie nice. Dit is challenging, die girls, ons is baie girls. Almal veg vir 'n plek in die span, wat die derde week gaan alles kan uitbetaal. Soos dis nou my derde jaar met die wat ek nou speel en die ondervinding wat ek nou ondervind is baie goed. Ons leer baie, soos by die senior girls, ons leer baie. Die oefening is hard, wat ons is hier om te leer, so ja. Soos Coach Lorien, she's like a role model vir my van alles wat sy vir ons gee op die veld, het sy al teëgegaan. So alles wat sy vir ons sê, sal ek doen van sy weet wat dit kos om op die veld te wees en hoe hard dit is om te wees daar op die veld.
I can see also the girls, they wanted to be here. They were missing this to be on the field, and they are pushing so hard because their fitness level, as we know that we didn't play last year, so it's very low. So now we're trying to make them fit again, and they're willing to do that. They put 100% on the field. Training harder because we have a lot of girls here, so they all want to be in the team. So there's that competition. So they're looking forward to be on the field and play their provincial matches. It's very hard for us to do that, but we are trying our best to motivate the girls to be on track again because most of them, they're scared of COVID, but we don't have a choice. We need to play, we need to be on the field. The life must go on. So it's difficult, but we are trying our best. Yeah, it is making it easier. Yes, it is because Lorraine is helping me a lot. As you know that he was the first coach, so he's helping me with Jongi to improve my skill level as a coach. So I'm very happy to work with them. It is a privilege for us, especially Western Province, because we have talent. We have a lot of players. The other players went to the SA camp, but there's not that gap that other players are not here. We have talent, so we have something to work on as a coaches.
Welcome back, folks. Fantastic stuff. Great to see our DHL Western Province Rugby Women's Squad training so hard. They're, of course, now in their third week already, and certainly look like they're enjoying all the strength and conditioning exercises, to say the least. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll carry on talking about club rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. We, of course, carry on talking about what's happening in the world of club rugby. Right, folks, as you know, the Currie Cup comes up later in the year, and the Western Province Rugby under-20s are busy training in preparation for that tournament. We went down to the High Performance Centre yesterday to catch up with some of the players as they, they keep on staying fit and keep on staying strong. Let's go and take a look and see what happened behind the scenes.
No, it's nice. I think all the boys are happy to shave the rust off the boots. It was tough last year being stripped of our rugby, but it's kind of made us just that bit more eager to get back on the field this year. So there's a lot of hunger and drive within the group. Rugby is a team sport, and doing work by yourself at home isn't quite how we like it. So being back with a group, it's always better. You get to push yourself that just a bit harder with the boys, and yeah, it's just as a good gears because boys missed it. So everything's just a bit better, I have to say. I think it requires a lot of self-discipline. And obviously you have to be disciplined when you're working towards a goal, but we weren't quite sure when the goal was going to come because obviously there was no certainty around anything. So yeah, it was a big push, but I think it installed a lot of values into the boys, and coming back into a team environment, I think people have still got all those key values. So that discipline is certainly like a big element amongst us. Yeah, I think that's one thing Province do well. They give us there's a big link between the top and the bottom, so having these guys here, it helps us a lot and it gives us an insight on what it takes to push that one next level forward. So no, it's just a privilege to work under them and get to see the values they instill in us. So yeah, I hope there's a lot more of it.
Ja man, ek het gemis die saam met die span oefen, maar het maar my extras gedoen deur lockdown. So maar aan die hardloop gebly, maar dit is lekker om weer die span te sien. Ja, aangesien ons nog nooit geweet het wanneer rugby eintlik gaan begin nie en of dit nou eintlik die moeite werd is om net aan te hard te werk, maar ek sal sê dit was die moeite werd op die einde. Ja, dis lekker om so met die ouens te oefen dan, want om iemand te hê wat jou druk, sal jy ook altyd 'n beter oefensessie hê met die motivation soos jy sê is daar so. Ek is opgewonde vir die kompetisies en vir die games wat voor lê. Albei Durban was ons eerste game teen Maties, so dit gaan net alweer een wees, maar dit gaan lekker wees.
Since the last time I played was Newlands last year. He said last year in March. It's basically exactly a year like this month, and it's good to be back. And I miss the social play, being with the boys and all of that. And can't wait to be back out in the field. Everything but the bad times always counted in. So that was my motivation, because at the end of this, the rugby can be back. So I had to keep training all of that. So that was my motivation basically. Yes, but even though August is far, I'm still very excited. When I heard, I think last week, and then my motivation, my willing to my will to play, got more, and I started working hard, all of that. I missed it for whole decade away from rugby. It's my life. So it was hard for me and that. So being back, it's the best thing. I'm excited every morning to come train.
Een voordeel is baie van die ouetjies het al van verlede jaar af by die Varsity Cup beginne oefen. So hulle is al op 'n redelike standaard. En so dit maak dit 'n bietjie maklik vir ons. Maar dis nou baie van die manne wat nie in die senior Varsity Cup kan speel nie, want die young guns is gekanselleer. So ja, so dis ons het maar 'n spesiale program waar hulle inkom, hou maar vir hulle besig en hou hulle reg. So as die Varsity Cup klaar is en die ander manne join in, dan is so 'n soort van, dan is hulle soort van op dieselfde vlak wat daai manne is. manne sien redelik uit daarna. Ons is eintlik bevoorreg hierso in die Kaap van verlede jaar. Het dit nie so goed gegaan met die onder 21 nie, maar die plan was altyd van SA Rugby die kompetisie verander van onder 21 na onder 20 toe. So my plan was maar altyd om die jonger ouens te bou. So 90% van die manne wat nou by die Varsity Cup is ouens wat nog moet terugkom wat onder 20 is. So ek sien eintlik uit na die jaar na 'n goeie soort van campaign in die onder 20 Currie Cup. Kyk, dis jong manne wat weet hulle moet hard werk as hulle eers wil kom. Nie net hard werk op die rugbyveld nie, maar hard werk op die universiteit ook. So hulle sit baie in en hulle weet as hulle hier by die high performance center in Bellville kom, dan begin ons nie stadig nie, ons begin. So ons kan sien as hulle nie die program gevolg het nie, maar meeste van hulle het dan die program gevolg en hulle soort van running base is baie goed. Ja, kyk, wat ek doen is dis belangrik vir die coaches van die Curriebeeker en die Stormers, want hulle sien nie altyd die manne nie. So ek van tyd tot tyd laat ek maar een van die coaches inkom en in 'n afdeling werk waarin hy werk, soos nou Labib is natuurlik die skills coach. So hy doen skills. So volgende kan ek vir Rito inbring om met die slotte 'n bietjie te werk. Ek kan vir Dawie Snyman inbring om 'n bietjie met die backs te werk, sodat hulle net kan sien wie in die stelsel is en so hulle raak ook gewoond aan die ouetjies wat hulle sien. Want dit is tog die toekoms van WP Rugby en dit is waarmee ek basies besig is, sodat almal kan weet wie ons het, soort van stokvat in die stelsel. So van tyd tot tyd gaan ek van die coaches laat inkom, ja.
Great to see our under-20s in action. Of course, they're preparing for the Currie Cup that comes up later in the year. And as we know, a lot of players are currently busy with the Varsity Cup. But tournament coming up then later in the year. Looking forward to seeing our Junior Currie Cup players in action. Right, folks, as you know, MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy has an extensive range of good quality orthopedic and surgical products at very competitive prices. And this is, of course, in the orthopedic and surgical zone. Now, if you go to MChem, you will know that there are multiple zones in MChem, but one of the zones that they have is, of course, the orthopedic and surgical zone. So if you're looking for products such as braces or strapping or any other orthopedic or surgical products, then MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy is the place to go. And if they don't have it on hand, they'll find it for you. There's always someone available to help you. Specifically, if we're looking at the orthopedic and surgical zone, there is a nursing sister on duty from 8 a.m. in the morning until 10 p.m. in the evening. And she looks after the orthopedic and surgical products. And she understands that zone and is able to help you. That's, of course, in the orthopedic and surgical zone. So if you have any need for any sort of orthopedic or surgical products, there's a nursing sister on duty at MChem that can look after you and give you the best possible advice. I think that's fantastic. Now remember, not all brands are the same. They might look the same, but they're not the same. At MChem, the objective is to carry an extensive range of high quality and well manufactured products. And so you know that when you're shopping at MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy, you'll be getting the very best products at the very best prices. And of course, in addition to the sports injury specific products, MChem carries a number of other products in the other zones at MChem. So if you need any advice, then of course MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy is available to help you. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll carry on talking about what's happening in the world of club rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking about what's happening in the world of club rugby. Over the last few months, you will of course know that on a number of occasions we caught up with St. George's Rugby Football Club, who were doing such fantastic work during the lockdown period, and of course carry on doing that as Janine and her team lead from the front and they really have been spectacular, and it's so fantastic to see clubs doing their bit. But we are now in a slightly different dynamic where, of course, some of the clubs have been given permission to return to training. Joining me on the line now is the club captain for St. George's Rugby Football Club, the Lulu Boys, Dion Isaacs. Dion, nice to have you. How are you?
I'm fine, JP. Thank you very much, man, to have me on the program.
Yeah, Dion, well, you know, we've been speaking to Janine DeLange for a few months now. You guys have been doing such a fantastic job. Before I talk to you about the players and return to play training and putting the boots back on, you guys must be very happy as a club with the type of leadership that you've got there that constantly helps the players and people who live in the area.
Yeah, JP, we are a community club. It's our duty to look after our community and keep the boys on the rugby field and keep them away from all the wrongdoings.
Yeah, you guys have been doing a fantastic job. I mean, you know, especially with all the feeding schemes that you've been doing at St. George's. Really, if nothing else, tonight I want to make sure that you and your team and everybody at the club knows that I'm sure everybody watching the show is really giving a big hand of applause for what you guys are doing. But Dion, the reason, of course, that we got you on the line, you're the club captain, not the team captain. Or did I miss something? Let me just make sure.
No, I'm the club captain. No, I'm the club captain.
Okay. So we're going to have to explain that. Explain the difference between a team captain and a club captain quickly for people who are watching.
Yeah, the team captain, everybody knows there's the guy that leads the team on the field. I'm the club captain. I'm looking after the welfare of our club, all the young players, where there's sometimes not something well in the club. They always approach me, and then I had to sort it out. That's my duty as an executive member, as the club captain, as the father of the whole St. George's Club.
You're like the godfather of the club there.
That's right.
All right.
That's why sometimes you see me with my Stetson on.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Okay, so you're not strapping your boots on at training at the moment.
No. I'm retired now, man. I'm a pensioner. Yeah. This year the club is 18 years old. Maybe I'll take a chance and see what happens. If the body will, I hope the body will take it. But Dion, I don't promise anything. Well,
I'm sure that we have no doubt that if you wanted to make up a space in the squad, there would get you back in the team. But Dion, of course, the big thing at the moment for St. George's is, like so many of the other clubs, is the return to training. You've had to go. Well, you're still busy with your first 4-week phase. This must be a big positive for the players. We know that you've been able to keep the players reasonably active and engaged through all these other communication tools like WhatsApp and so on. But for the players to come back to the field now, this must be quite positive.
It is positive, JP. We started way back now on the 22nd of February. We received our go-ahead certificate, that COVID-19 one that province sent out to all clubs that are ready to start with the practice. The numbers are still a little bit down. Every week it starts to get a little bit more and more on the field, but the numbers is not there yet. It seems to me that the guys are a little bit, our people, the young players and the old players, mostly the old players, they don't want to run too much. You understand? They want to see the ball on the field, and this week we are starting with the ball. So hopefully we will be getting more numbers at our practice field.
So 4 weeks of strength and conditioning. This is, of course, you guys are quite far ahead now. Just tell us a little bit about the Gesto, the players being able to see each other. I've asked a few of the other clubs this now. That must be quite a good feeling for the players to come to the field. They haven't been able to see each other wearing rugby practice kit. That must be quite positive.
Oh, JP, it's fantastic, man. The guys, you can see the high fives and stuff when they see each other for a long time, and they enjoying the practice. Those guys that are currently practicing, the vibe is, with the Lulu boys, there's always a good vibe amongst them. So currently, I think when the rest of the guys coming back to practice field this coming week, there will be a very good vibe between them.
Of course, things are a little bit different now with the health and safety protocols. There's a lot of sanitization and administration that must take place. Are the players adjusting to that?
No, they are adjusting. They stick to the protocol, the COVID-19 protocol. They are bringing their own water bottles and it's marked with their names on. They got their extra masks and all those stuff, and they keep their social distance. They adhere to the regulations of the COVID-19 protocol.
Dion, then in the next few days you're going to be changing the type of training, ball skills, maybe some drills. How much of a difference do you think that'll make for the players? We know how hungry they've been for rugby.
JP, last year in the beginning of the season, we were on a very high time of our rugby because we planned that we want to go up to Super League A last year, but then COVID started. We started very good last year with all our friendlies, and I hope that if we get all these guys back this year or this season, and there's a way that we can play rugby, that we will do much better than we expected to do last year, so that we can show the Helderberg community that we are a force to be reckoned with.
You've got a big boxing match coming up soon. Manny Williams and Tariq van der Ros.
That's right, yes.
Everything's still on track?
So far, everything is on track. Tariq for promoting this event. It's something very good for our coach, Wani Davids. Currently, Wani is working from home, and the interim coach, Garrett Isaacs, his assistant, are running the practices so far. But they are in communication with each other, planning for practices and stuff. And all the other coaches they are all on board. But we hope that this event between Manny and Tariq will be a good one, and more of these type of events can follow to create extra income for the medical purposes for Wani Davids.
Yeah, of course, fundraising there for Coach Marwan Davids. The match, which is called MD20, is of course on the 3rd of April. I'm looking at the poster. Yeah. It looks like there's a lot of effort. Yes. It looks like a lot of effort that has gone into this. I mean, there's an old school poster which almost looks like an old Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali type poster. A little bit of black and white going on there.
JP, those guys they are old guys, man. I don't think they will last 4 rounds.
Well, I don't know if I agree with you on that, and I can tell you that they will not agree with you on that, because we've been watching the feedback, at least on the training that they're doing. You would think these guys are taking on Floyd Mayweather or something at the.
Yeah, sometimes there's only that a few seconds that they show you.
You mean we don't?
If the video wasn't.
You mean we don't see the?
the real effort, yeah.
No, well, that's fair. But one way or the other, you guys are doing a great job. I think if anybody's watching now, of course, that match is on the 3rd of April. The Daisy Jones, it's pay-per-view, and Manuel Williams up against Tariq van der Ros to raise funds for Coach
JP, on that note, there's still a few tickets available. Yeah. For the viewers out there, please support our cause. It's for something very good. So please, if it's possible, make that date available and come and see them the fight.
Dion, we'll leave it at that, and of course we'll hope to catch up with you guys again soon. And of course, tell everybody out there we send our very best, and remember to stay safe and healthy.
Thank you, JP, for the opportunity. You keep safe yourself.
There we go, folks. Dion Isaacs, of course, club captain, not team captain, club captain at St. George's, the Lulu Boys. Look out for that prize or rematch fight then that's coming up on the 3rd of April. You can buy your tickets on quicket.co.za. Get in now. The early bird tickets are on the cards. But great to see that the Lulu Boys are in such good spirits, as we know they always are. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll carry on talking about sport, or at least club rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. Nice to have you along with us, of course, on this fine Wednesday evening where we talk about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Well, as you know, as you've heard me say now for a few weeks, clubs slowly getting back to training. The first 4 weeks, though, the regulations are about strength and conditioning. On the line with me now, Alto Kelsriver strength and conditioning coach, Clint Ogle. Clint, nice to have you on the line. How are you?
Hi, JP. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm well, thanks.
So, Clint, you heard me say in the intro there, the first 4 weeks is all about strength and conditioning. That's your game, talking about strength and conditioning. What does that mean? What does strength and conditioning mean for the first 4 weeks?
Well, at Alto Towers, Kelsriver RFC, we are committed to giving our players the best training that they can receive anywhere. So we've had to really adapt our periodization to come in line with Western Province protocols when it comes to return to training. So I basically had to, with the help of Coach Wessel and Coach Brian, to basically compact what we had strategized before to make it fit into the 4 weeks. So as you know, strength and conditioning is very important according to BoxSmart. It's very important because it takes away the risk of spinal and cervical, spinal and neck injuries. So their bodies need to be conditioned properly to endure the stresses of the game.
So what does that mean for the players at a practice session? You know, when we come down to a practice session, we normally see guys hitting the tackle bag or pushing the scrumming machine around. Of course, it's COVID. You've got these very specific regulations now. So for you as a strength and conditioning coach, like when you're taking them through their paces in the evening, what does it look like?
So basically, according to the stipulations of Western Province protocols, return to training, what we have done is we've divided the players into training pods, not more than 8 players per pod. And those pods are allocated and also recorded so that the players can stay in those specific pods for the entire duration of the 4-week period. That way we're able to assess and monitor them while they are training. So it's basically me standing in the middle of the field and different stations all around the field and me screaming my lungs out, communicating with these guys what to do. And there's no equipment, it's just cones.
Well, I was just about to ask you, so there's no bench pressing and pull-ups and pec decks and things like that?
No, it's none of that. So it's non-contact. So even within the pods, the guys are maintaining their physical distance of 1.5 meters.
Yeah.
And we're basically focusing on aerobic and anaerobic. So we're doing some endurance running and some speed and agility drills. And then we're doing some calisthenics, which is using your own body weight, like push-ups and squats and burpees and that type of thing. And we're also doing some plyos as well, which is like the broad jumping and things like that. A lot of tuck jumping and jump lunges and jump squats as well.
So we know that a lot of your players were staying quite fit during the lockdown period, and then you started engaging with some social activities outside of the sporting arena. It's been 3 weeks now of strength and conditioning. What is the progress looking like so far from when you first were able to get the players on the field?
Well, the first week I did a timed Bronco assessment test, and I'll be doing another one on the 4th week, which is next week as well. Some of the guys are looking really good. Some of the guys are getting there, but we have full confidence that the 4 weeks we will get different results when it comes to the fitness of the guys.
So when you're doing Bronco, for the fans that are watching right now, Bronco is of course those sprints that you're doing. Am I right?
Yes. So the Bronco test basically you put out your cones 20 meters. And then another 20 meters on the 40 meters, and then another 20 meters on the 60 meters. So they need to run between each set of cones. So the first 20 meters back, then 40 meters back, then the 60 meters back continuously. They do that 5 times. And I know I know Barrett did it on like 4 minutes, 28 seconds or something. But we've got guys that are doing it at 5 minutes at the moment already. So
is that a good time? What sort of time do you want to see?
I want to see basically for the backs, I want to see a 5 minute, and for the forwards, I want to see a 6.5 minutes.
Is that a killer? Is it tough?
It is quite tough. I've quite a lot of experience with the Bronco myself, so it is quite tough.
Yeah.
But you know, the guys are enjoying it. Us at Alto Towers, Kuils River, RFC, along with Coach Witzel and the rest of the coaching staff, we like motivating the guys positively. So with us, it's all about positive reinforcement, you know. We like motivating them so they can challenge themselves, and, you know, it's all about them versus themselves, you know, to improve.
So obviously you must have kept records on the first Bronco, had to write things down and see what each player's time was. From a strength and conditioning point of view, how much admin do you find yourself doing now?
The admin has increased slightly, but luckily for me, we have a dedicated team at Alto Towers, Kuils River, which comprises of the executive, and they do all the screening for us. Everything is to do, it's in line with COVID protocols according to what Western Province Rugby has stipulated, and they are also equipped and educated and qualified to do that kind of screening, and they also help the players to maintain the protocols. So a lot of that part of the admin has been taken care of. When it comes to doing my assessments and things, I will try to get the higher end of the spectrum, 2 or 3 to 5 players on the higher end of the spectrum compared to 3 to 5 players on the lower end of the spectrum to get an average. So I'll try to bring that average as close together as possible when it comes to their fitness.
Yeah.
You know, so that makes it a little bit easier. For me personally, I like taking a professional approach to the amateur sport, because that raises the level as well. It gives the guys the feeling that they are in a professional environment and structure as well.
We're so excited to see that the players are able to put their boots on again, and you know, it's different to going to the gym and different to walking and running on the mountain. Coming down for a training session with Coach Clint is a different story. They're able to put their boots on, and it's exciting to smell that smell of rugby again. But that was my final question: is the gees amongst the players. You know, of course, we know the players aren't allowed to make contact with each other, and they still have to be there in an isolated format. But are they at least able to make a little bit of a joke and have a little bit of fun with each other?
Yes, even though the guys are operating according to COVID-19 protocols, the spirit is quite high. The gees is very high, because these guys have been starved from the field for a very, very long time. So they come into the field hungry and eager. And we've also got a new appreciation for the game, and we're not taking the ability to practice for granted anymore. All of us at Alto Towers, Kuils River. So we're really cherishing this opportunity to get back onto the field and train. And I think all the guys have been humbled as well, because they are very, very committed, very, very disciplined. And I don't have to speak twice with anybody. They react immediately. So I think the COVID protocols have also given us a benefit as well of having a higher level of appreciation for the game and for the practice as well.
Clint, you've nailed it. That last 60 seconds of what you just said is kind of summing it up for what Club Rugby has actually delivered in the last year. Is that the players have galvanized together. They're thinking of belonging to a club more than just the 80 minutes in the field. They're there as a team. They work with the club, the management, and they help each other. They help the community. I mean, what you guys have been doing as well has been fantastic. I think you've just summed it up, and it really is incredible to see that is really the heart and soul of Club Rugby, what you're talking about.
Indeed, JP. Thank you very much.
Clint, we'll leave it at that. And yeah, I've got goosebumps just thinking about what we just said here, and it really is great. So to you and everybody else at Alto Towers, Kuils River, we send our very best, and to the players, and we'll obviously pass on our regards that they must stay safe and healthy.
Thank you very much, JP, and on behalf of Alto Towers, Kuils River, RFC, thank you for having me on the show.
Thanks, Clint. There we go, folks. Clint Ogle, of course, strength and conditioning coach at Kuils River. Great to see the Kayla boys also working towards well, let's say at the moment, strength and conditioning. Of course, difficult times at the moment. Tricky for all the coaches. Right, if you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, there you see the logo behind me right now, right? So a case of Score energy drinks is up for grabs. All you need to do is grab your mobile phone right now. Grab your phone. You're going to need to text this word SCORE. You can see it on the can, you can see it on my shirt, and you just need to simply SMS the word SCORE to 33090. Now the great thing about the competition at the moment is that not only are we going to give away 24 cans of Score, which makes up one case, we're also going to throw in a case of Bashu's cool drinks. You'll all remember the Bashu's cool drinks. And in addition to that, we have got a set of masks, courtesy of CTC Sports. So 24 Score, 24 Bashes, and of course 24 Cape Rugby TV masks up for grabs. All you need to do is SMS the word SCORE to 33090. There's the word on the can, SCORE. Just SMS the word SCORE to 33090. You put yourself in the mix to win this. It's a triple hamper. Congratulations to last week's winner, Jan Dreyer. Jan, somebody from Cape Rugby TV is going to be in touch with you shortly. You are this week's winner of the Score energy drinks, a case of Bashu's, and of course a set of Cape Rugby TV masks. Folks, we'll take an ad break, and when we come back from a break, we'll carry on talking about what's happening in the world of club rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking club rugby. Whistling Wheels, of course, one of the clubs within Western Province club rugby structures. Now, Whistling Wheels have started moving into phase 2 of their COVID regulation training. And we managed to catch up with some of the players behind the scenes on the field. Let's take a look and see what they have to say.
It's a amazing feeling. The boys have been waiting for this. We have been asking for this. We've been praying for this, and we can say our prayers have came through. But also, still we are faced with circumstances, so we have to still be strong. We still have to keep our safe distance, and we still have to stick to protocols on the field. But other than that, it's an amazing feeling being back on our home soil. It does play a big role. Like I said, most of us, we try training at our homes, try jogging, but the feeling is not the same. There's not that extra motivation that pushes you to, be better, become stronger, become fitter. That's the only way. So it was a bit difficult, but some of the guys did very good with that aspect, with training alone. But now it feels great. The motivation, the guys are pushing each other, and we're excited for the next step. We've been wanting to do this. Like I said, training at home, it's totally different than being on the field. On the field, you have your brother next to you. You can throw the ball, you can chase after the next one. So it's just very nice being back here.
Baie lekker, wie weet. Ons is al amper 'n jaar by die huis gewees, amper 2 jaar. So die manne is lus vanaand gewees. So is weer baie lekker om terug te wees op die veld. Is baie different because ons was baie lank op die veld en weer te sien hoe mooi is die veld vandag. Weer eens die bestuur sê ek baie dankie wat hulle uitgegaan het vir ons om uit hulle pad te gaan om die veld so mooi te maak. En vir ons te sien om terug te kom by die veld en dit lyk so mooi. Is goed om weer te sien die ou players wat ons lanklaas gesien het vir die jaar. So is goed om weer by die veld te wees, baie lekker en die gees is weer daar. Ja, op 'n oefenaand is dit baie goed om so te sien. Van die manne lyk baie bond en julle weet mos op 'n oefenveld lyk ons baie bond, maar is goed om die manne so te sien as eenheid weer eens en ons sê baie dankie vir die bestuur wat uitgegaan het om vir ons laat so te laat lyk vanaand. Ons is baie happy die bal nou weer level 2 het hier ingeskop, so die manne is eintlik excited van was baie min manne eerste op die veld vir die half. So dit is goed om te sien die veld is weer amper vol. So ja, is goed om weer aan die bal te vat.
Het is 'n privilege om weer terug te wees na 'n jaar se lockdown wat ons by ons huise was, maar hier en daar op ons eie geoefen het, maar is weer lekker om weer tuis te kan wees by ons. Klip hier in die eerste rivier, Whistling Wheels trots, ons gras is mooi, die manne is vol energie en die manne is excited om hier te wees. So ja, ons kyk uit vir 'n mooi season. Definitief het bring eenheid en dit's lekker om saam as kleed te lyk. Ja, soms kere is daar wat ons bond lyk, maar soos dit en nog occasions vorentoe, is 'n spesiale okasie, so ons hier vanaand 'n week ons vorentoe en om soos een te lyk is 'n trots om Wheels se embleem op ons bors te dra. Ons sien uit na die seisoen wat voor lê. Ons veld lyk so, maar dit kom alleenlik van wat ingesit is deur bestuur en coaches en ook spelers wat kom help het op ons speeltyd en soos voor wat ons nou kan weer veld gevat het voordat ons nou weer die green light gekry het soos ons sê, maar ons hou nog altyd ons hande op die veld, bestuur agter. Sê altyd wat 'n mens sien nie, maar dit gebeur. Kyk mooi na die veld en ons sien uit om op die veld bietjie rugby te speel. Ons lekker om te sien dat 'n jong manne deur die ranks kom en vir hulle ook onder mense vlerk te vat en saam te speel vir hulle te wys. Mense kan baie keer sien as dit jong manne wat opkom, hulle is baie gretig, maar hulle het nog nie die ervaring nie, maar dis waar ons ouer spelers is om vir hulle ook 'n bietjie te help en so raak hulle deel van die familie en deel van die hele Wheels besigheid waarmee ons hier in die sport is en hopelik kan ons hulle aanhelp om hoër goed te bereik.
Het maak ons hart bly en dat kan het groeien en sterker word. As jy kyk na die ouens wat nog hier is, maar daar was al ouens hier wat nog nie vanaand weens omstandighede hier kan wees hoe die getalle kon meer gewees het, maar dit maak my hart bly wat die is vanaand so. Aan die fisiese kant is maar 'n bietjie moeilik, is 'n gesukkel nou, maar ek dink die bestuur en coaches was maar nog altyd in touch met die players. Rugby het ons natuurlik gemis. COVID het natuurlik 'n baie groot impak gemaak nou op ons op die getalle en so, dit kon meer gewees het, maar ons was besig met voetbalsels en al die liefdadigheidsdinge wat die bestuur gedoen het, saam met die coaches en sekere players, so dinge was nog altyd aan die gang by Wheels, so ons was nie heeltemal uit touch uit hier so. Dis maar nou net die keesie op die koek wat ons nou hier kry. Ja, ek dink die ouens wat nog nie op Nieuweland gespeel het nie, hulle is nou op Nieuweland. Jy weet, dit was mos ek dink 2 jaar terug was dit hulle het hom genoem klap Stofstraat of iets soos dit. As jy gespeel het, dan kun jy amper niks gesien het op jou skerm nie. Maar nou is baie duidelik, die veld lyk mooi en as ek 'n player was, sou ek elke aan die gesit. Ek meen, dit gee ou lus want normally in die ou dae as jy na 'n veld toe gaan en jy toer, dan kyk jy eers hoe lyk die kondisie van die veld en dit sak sommer jou moraal, maar as jy hier kom, jy het sommer lus vir die ding hier by Wheels man. Ek meen, dis was maar nou die gewoonte van rugby, veral in ons gemeenskappe waar jy nie die off-season training het nie, so jy kom ons maar terug in die begin van die jaar vir jou fitness en daai so. Dis niks nuut nie. Dis maar nou net 'n ekstra myl wat jy moet loop omdat ons 'n jaar basically afgelê het. Ek dink die ouens is baie excited omdat hulle kan sien in die verte rugby is op pad. So dit maak die ouens positief.
Great seeing the guys in action. Of course, we managed to get that interview just before load shedding, but always great to catch up with the players as they, of course, are training under these difficult conditions. Right, folks, that's a wrap from us then this evening, and we will see you again next week, same time, same place, a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.